All right. So we were going through our reviews and what past clients have said about working with us, and we came across a couple of things that thought it might be worth sharing with people that might help, whether you become one of our clients or you're trying to find, web help or move forward with something like with your online business. Maybe there's one of these things we can help address and help you move forward. So one of the things that we were complimented on a few times is the fact that we help we help people feel comfortable working on more, technical projects, even if they're not. They say that, I don't even know, how do I put this? Can someone put words for me into the screen? I'm not good.
They're not tech savvy themselves. They have no understanding whatsoever, maybe about how a website works, what a domain name is, or
Yes.
hosting. And for the most part, I mean, they don't really need to know. That's why you work with somebody like us. But I think that maybe there's some amount of shame around that from their past experiences, where they're apologetic that they don't know these things when they talk to us. And it's like, oh my gosh, you don't need to feel that way. That's why we're here. Like, don't ever worry about asking us a question. We are very happy to help and try to explain in as simple of terms as we can, right?
Yeah.
It seems so counterintuitive that we would want to empower our clients to be able to do things on their own with their own website, but because it takes work away from us, right? But honestly, that brings me so much joy, and it's so happy when I teach one of our clients how to do something, and then they're out there, adding their own photos or changing their own text, and it's really good. I love being able to educate our clients on how to use their own website.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's sort of a balance too. Like, sometimes people really do want to take over and do everything that that we would be doing. Like, if, we were supporting them on something. And then, on the other end of the spectrum there are people that don't want to do anything. And they're like, depend on us. But then I kind of enjoy the middle ground, because I feel like that's sort of the opportunity for more, like, collaborative stuff. Like, maybe you both learn something at the same time. Maybe it's not the same thing that you're both taking away from, the little training session or whatever. But there was a training that I was a part of. I haven't done a training in a long time. Post website launch training. And we were just like shooting the shit on how much we all dislike caching. Like, I know it's necessary, and they know it's necessary, but
can we explain what caching is real quick?
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So, well, I guess at the basic level, it's a way for different pieces of technology that display your website, kind of save like a image of the file, let's just say, of your website. It's sort of like the coded image of your homepage, pretend.
Like a snapshot, right?
A snapshot, yeah. And it's so it loads quick and doesn't take up a bunch of time to load, like on a website server or in your browser. Everybody wants everything super fast these days. And so I think that's probably one of the main reasons why that exists. I don't know if I explained that very well, but I think there's different layers too, right? Like, there's caching at the server levels. There's content delivery network where it's another part, and it's, you know, saving these sort of copies of images and then delivering them back to whomever's seeing the image on the other side quicker than it would be anywhere else. And then there's in your browser, and there's different plugins that have its own, you know, their own caching. So it's a lot of caching levels.
There's a lot of opportunities for cache.
A lot of opportunities.
Not the kind of cache that we all want, though.
True. It's not green.
Mm-mm.
But the thing is, I think that's frustrating is that a lot of times people want to see something right away, even when you're editing, and you're like, why am I not seeing this change? And if you've worked that way forever, you know, you're just expecting, and then all of a sudden you have like these new performance things, these new nice performance things that we provide, you know, in the process, and they're like, well, something's wrong, you know. But that's also, I guess, a part of the learning opportunity where, you know, we had talked about why, you know, you can't see it right away, and how to troubleshoot if you actually know that it's changed. Even if you can't see it in your current browser, doesn't mean that it's not going to change or it hasn't changed already. So it's, yeah, caching is one of those things that definitely, I think, people have asked us about a lot. What do you think would be the most popular question that the both of you get from clients in terms of like what we're talking about, like not understanding like the technical piece of something?
Yeah, I think, you know, I'm mostly talking to our clients when they're prospects and they're not on board yet. And one of the things that I tend to explain pretty often is like what a domain is and what hosting are. You know, that the domain is the address of your website, and the hosting is where the website lives. It's like your computer at home has files on it. Your website are just a bunch of files on a server out there in the world, connected to a database, which like tells it how to display everything. So I think that's definitely one that I explain pretty often.
Yeah, that's a bit hard to understand when everything's sort of like invisible. There's not tangible things. I think we've answered this question a few times too, with like showing like an infographic or something with like just a couple blocks, and like, okay, this is the domain, and then this is what the DNS would be like, and then this is what, you know, it is quite technical.
Yeah. I was recently talking to a younger person who's making websites with AI, and I was asking him, so, you know, you're building these websites or whatever, you know, how are they hosted? And he could not answer the question. He had no idea how the hosting works. Like, oh, that is a little concerning that you don't know how that all ties together.
It's kind of foundational for a website.
Kind of. Yeah, a little bit, maybe.
I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure that just because even if it's built by AI tools, that definitely does not replace hosting. Like you still,
Yeah,
I mean,
need,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely a good question to ask. I guess that would be good to, if you are somebody that is looking into creating something, you know, with AI, like a website or whatever, and there's no hosting information, I would definitely ask that question or try to find out the answer to that question. Because I was thinking too, what if you did that, you built the website, you know, with the AI builder, and you're on like a shared server of some random, like, you don't, you know, maybe it's like a white labeled like hosting, you know, like you're a reseller or something of some other, but it's like some ancient, I don't know, maybe there's people spamming people, like you don't know what's going on. I would want to know. I think. But maybe that's just me. If it's super cheap, I bet you some people wouldn't care or know that they should probably care
Yeah.
about where it's hosted.
Yeah, like I think in this case, he's just so young and inexperienced that he has no idea, doesn't know how important it is or why he should know.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess you kind of miss out on the fundamental, like if you're jumping into things now, like going into like more automated tools of building creative things, you're kind of skipping over a lot of like the fundamental reasons on why they're created in the first place and what they're for.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, interesting shift there. But
Yeah.
so yeah, that's another good question to address, a technical question about DNS registrar hosting. I guess it's CMS, the builder. That's sort of a part of it. I mean, it's not really, but sometimes I think those go with that question too. Like some people will interchange, like, is it built with WordPress or hosted on WordPress? Like, because you know how they have hosting too.
Right.
I think when people look up WordPress, but they're not even familiar with like their own website on like how it works, you know, how it's hosted, how it works. So that's often, I think, a follow-up question about like if it's hosted on WordPress or whatever. I don't think I've ever had a website hosted through WordPress. Have you?
I came across one once. It was really weird because I wasn't used to the limitations that it has.
Oh yeah. I think you have to pay extra for like the premium things. I think we tried using it once to
But
like
you still,
migrate content or something.
yeah, but you still can't get under the hood. Like if you wanted to create your own functions and stuff, I don't think you can do it on the hosted version.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I got that far.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, functions are PHP code that help create custom features on your website.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I figured out how to do one. I did one. It was because so something was bothering me about how I couldn't. I'm always about the customizations that like don't exist. Like, I think that I don't have the patience to truly ever become to the level of like, oh, I'm gonna know how to like code and do things like really well, like coding. I mean, I can get get my way around, but I have the team to lean on if I have a question. But anyway, back to the thing. I always want to over customize something, and it's like always just out of my grasp. Like, I really want to do that, but I don't know how to do that. And one of the things is like excerpts or like little descriptions of like posts and things like that. So I think we had custom post types, and they're not always set up to like cleanly bring over, like even if you have to put a custom excerpt into each one. I don't want to do that. And then if you go, in the module or like the settings of whatever you're doing, you can set like oftentimes SEO plugins will say like, here's this, but it pulls either the custom one that you already manually typed in, or like the first however many characters or whatever. Then you run into trouble with that because sometimes if there's like short codes or something on the page, it'll like pull in weird shit. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. So I figured out how to make a function to just take the first sentence of the first paragraph.
Nice.
And that worked out well. But yeah, patting myself on the back for my own little goofy, simple ABC fifth grade function. But that's also a plus of working here because I also don't feel like an idiot when I have to ask somebody on our team that's way more technical than me on how to do something. Oftentimes I'm not doing it, but it's cool to learn, and that's a part of it.
I have a story I could share about one of our clients.
Yes, please.
So this client is super tech savvy, happy to administer their own WordPress website, but we help this client out with anything that goes above and beyond their knowledge, which I think is so cool because it's usually not this way. But they recognize their own limitations and they're like, I just need a phone, like I need someone to email and be like, what's going on? Do you have a solution? I'm at my wit's end. Like I hated being a developer, designer in my like by myself. Having a team makes me such a stronger designer developer. So that's what she's leaning on us for. And I think that's amazing. But there was a one of the plugins updated, which causes a conflict with another plugin. We helped her figure out where the conflict was and what the fix was.
Mm.
She was able to go through and kind of customize it. But then we were able to teach her another functionality, another way of using her own website to achieve what was broken before. So it was a lot of these teaching moments, and she was learning, and we were working together to find solutions to keep costs down for her company, but still keep her website functioning like she knows how to administer it. So that was a fun interaction from the last couple of days.
Yeah, that does sound fun. Like to know that you're actually actively making a difference for somebody. I mean, like sometimes we don't see that later or, until later, or like we kind of, I don't know, we'll reach sometimes like, oh yes, we help this people, but like we like what we do. We want to feel good and want other people to feel good. But that's cool that you've experienced that like real time, and they're able to do stuff on their own and feel good about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that when we just sort of like fill in the gaps for our clients or wherever they're missing like a thing, because our team has such broad knowledge, both technically and design and marketing wise, like in all of those areas. And it's really fun when we get to just like sneak in and like, all right, we've got you here.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We had I had a meeting yesterday, speaking of filling in the gaps. So there's also times when we will need to work in other people's work. And sometimes that can be difficult in general. But also another layer of difficulty is that we didn't build it. So, and it's not always websites. So there's some things like applications, like web applications and things that like people will get made, whether it's like a CRM or, a calculator or something like that. It's not necessarily the website. But one thing that we got caught up in yesterday in a meeting with a client was what an external link meant. Because it was just really interesting that I know we've had oftentimes before where I'm saying one thing, you're saying another thing, but we're actually saying the same thing. In this example, I've never had an external link like come up as like a misunderstanding. So that was really, really threw me for a loop. But I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, we just went in loops yesterday. So I think that was probably the first time I've had that experience, but it was fun kind of figuring it out. We were all like, do any of us know what an external link means now? Are we all really? Because I don't know, it's just a funny moment, I guess. I don't even know if I can explain because it's such a it's not a complex thing that was happening. It was so simplified, but we were like, what? Everybody in the meeting, clients, me, Anna was and a colleague of ours was in the meeting. We were like, what? All of us are just, yeah, that was fun. I guess I'm just pointing out that there are unexpected things that pop up too, that oftentimes we don't even really know the answer, but we're like kind of figuring it out together. I think that's another sort of positive about working with the people on our team. Many of us are super smart at a lot of things. We don't know everything either. So it's I wish people wouldn't feel bad or feel weird, about asking questions.
It's literally how we learn.
Uh,
I ask so many questions all the time.
yes. Endless questions.
Yeah, I guess, if there's something technical you're curious about watching this, email us. We can answer the question and we won't make you feel bad for asking.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, bye.